Our names are Kameron,
Ethan Miller,
and our performance is entitled
Bam! Kapow!
Shazam!
And the comic strip began. Chester Gould gave me, Dick Tracy, life in 1931 to fiercely attack the positive imagery of the criminal. I was the daddy of all cops and robber strips. Comic strips, that is. An illustrative debut that changed into an innovative market of persuasive propaganda. Through the First Amendment's freedom of expression, we impacted millions with opinions of political ideals and lessons of morality. My enemies, Big Boy Caprice and Pruneface, mirrored the real-life gangsters like Al Capone. They all wanted me dead, but that didn't stop me or any of us from voicing messages of hope for the American dream in a diverse pop culture.
Watch out, Lex Luthor! I'm here to
Turn
save
that
you!
down, Junior!
I'm not Junior, I'm Superman!
Superman? I know Superman. I grew up with him.
Grandpa Theo, you know Superman?
Know him? I ate, drank, and slept Superman. I wanted to be him. I read about him in comics.
You mean like the ones in the newspaper?
Junior, we didn't have TV when I was 6. We had books and radio, but comics, that was an invention. I'll show you. I have a box in the attic.
It was in 1895 when the first comic strip came out. Yeah, the Yellow Kid they called it. But the birth of the cliffhanging storyline, that was the real novelty. Their ongoing tales lifted the destitute during the 1930s Great Depression. Adults, kids, readers, non-readers, they all loved following Superman in his bold red and blue. He stood for truth, justice, and the American way. Gramps and 65 million Americans couldn't live a day without reading about me or other comic icons.
Hey Theo, it's here! Superman got the bad guys again!
How'd you get this, Francis?
I found a dime in the gutter on my way home.
You better make sure your mama don't see you reading that. She'll tan your hide as sure as I'm sitting here. The teachers and the librarians keep saying that comics are an enemy of other reading. Besides, you could have used that money for a whole pound of bread.
I'm so sick of them educators trying to tell us that comics are no good. Like that principal in Nebraska. What's her name? Lucille Rosencrantz. She says reading comics slows down our reading and imagination, and it causes eye strain.
Eye strain? Reading this stuff makes my eyes better. It's a lot better than reading about starving people, or the dirty rich getting richer. Superman, he can fix anything.
Yeah, like President Roosevelt and the New Deal.
I got this. The country demands bold, persistent experimentation. It is common sense to take a method and try it. If it fails, admit it and try another. But above all, try something.
Yeah, Superman tries until it's fixed. Church-going people think Superman's like Jesus, too, saving the people. Besides, my mama don't know it, but my daddy's been reading comics, too. Who cares if people making these comics are taking our money? It's 10 cents of hope. Come on, let's go find some dime.
When America joined World War II in 1941, I, Soldier Bill Mullen, volunteered as a cartoonist. My comics about Soldier Willie were read by my comrades in arms. We escaped the war by focusing on other innovative comics too, filled with conquering superheroes. Captain America was our favorite. We looked forward to the mail. Half was letters of comfort, and half was comics of hope.
Theo, Mullen, the bombers are coming!
Man, those dirty Nazis just keep coming, just like in the comics. I don't know what's worse, Captain Nipple's sly Japs, or the Jerrys.
This is the real war. Death. It's the ugly truth, but that's why I enlisted. Those comics made me want to fight. I still remember Captain America slugging Hitler to the ground.
I saw that. Marvel's first issue of Captain America. You mean you're actually persuaded to enlist by reading that?
Geez, weren't half of us? I wanted to knock those Jerrys to the ground when I read them.
Man, the cartoons I've been writing almost got me kicked out of here.
You mean your comics about Willie? He's the soldier in all of us.
Yeah, General Patton summoned me into his office. Threatened to throw my butt in jail for spreading dissent.
Dissent? He's crazy. Just keep writing. Reading them comics gets my frustrations out.
Yeah, that's what Commander Eisenhower told Patton. Leave him alone. His cartoons are an outlet for soldier frustrations. I'm just gonna keep on drawing.
Jerry up, you can hear them coming.
Mullen did keep on drawing and lived the American dream. His soldier icon, Willie, was published by the Stars and Stripes military press and made it to the cover of Time magazine in 1945, earning him the Legion of Merit. Most people don't know it, but I created cartoons too. Yep, Theodore Geisel, otherwise Dr. Seuss. I had no great cause or interest in social issues, until Hitler. My comics were printed in the New York PM tabloid. It was against people who pushed other people around. I liked that. Was I a violent racist? Some people thought so. Either way, my political opinions were heard. World War II ended in 1945, but another war against comics started brewing in America. Political leaders took note right away.
Senator Hendrickson, a war on comics has been declared. In Binghamton, New York, teachers and students at St. Patrick's Parochial School burned 2,000 collected comics with crime and sex.
Well, Chief Clendenin, just like the comic writers, the people are exercising their First Amendment right to freedom of expression. Seems your work in the Children's Bureau has taken interest in how the change of comic writing is impacting people differently.
EC Horror Comics is marketing more liberal ideas and are under scrutiny for violent and sexually suggestive scenes. The problem is anyone can buy them, even kids.
It sounds like the comics market is being threatened by a more conservative public. Publishers better placate their critics to stay in business.
There's a psychiatrist in New York, Dr. Frederick Wertham. His studies link comic reading to juvenile delinquency.
I remember seeing his argument somewhere.
Society is trapped in a cult of violence, of which comic books are a manifestation.
Sounds like he's on a crusade, an advocate worth looking into.
My book, Seduction of the Innocent, is shedding light on the dangers of comic reading in children. After today's Senate hearing, Congress will better understand the need to protect them.
Dr. Wortham, thank you for coming to our Senate Committee investigative hearing. I'm Chairman Hendrickson. For the record, this April 21st, 1954. Please state why you're here today.
My studies in comic reading indicate the need to guard children from violent, profane, and sexual images. My book gives an example. One of the stock mental aphrodisiacs in comics is to draw girls' breasts in such a way that they're sexually exciting. Wherever possible, they protrude or obtrude.
So you want censorship?
No, protecting children is not censorship. I am not in favor of censorship. I am in favor of creating a code to control excess brutality in comics.
Describe to us that graphic image by EC Comics.
Entitled Foul Play, this is an image of men playing baseball with a corpse's body parts. They play baseball with a dead man's head. Why do they do that?
That's why we're here, Doctor, to find out. One thing's certain, your book is definitely stirring valid ideas.
Yes, hopefully enough to generate results, even if it nearly puts EC Comics or other publishers out of business.
The result of our investigation was the October 1954 Comics Code, a constitution banning use of profanity, horror, and exaggerated female parts. This conservative approach was revised in 1971 and 1989 to liberalize ideals of diverse culture. This enticed teachers to bring comics into the classroom.
Oh, Junior, I know it's in here somewhere. Oh, Junior, here it is. I remember the day when your dad took this comic strip to school for show and tell.
What comic?
Alley-oop. It was a story about a caveman.
A caveman?
He wasn't just any caveman. He was a time-traveling caveman. I loved his adventures in science. I dreamed of a career in it.
Yeah, and now you're mad scientist.
Chemical engineer.
One thing's certain, comics have persuaded people's dreams and experiences. They encouraged me to defend my country in World War II, after the Great Depression, and grow into a proud veteran.
Yeah, and I'm gonna grow up to be Superman!
Oh boy, looks like DC Comics inspired a superhero, but it created a monster.
A monster dreamer, with big hopes for the future.
The creator of Wonder Woman, William Marston, said it perfectly. Before man thought in words, he felt in pictures.
Since its beginning, comics have seized the First Amendment's right to freely express thoughts of every member of society.
Even people today, like Judd Winnick, an award-winning cartoonist whose life changed in 1993 when he befriended AIDS activist Pedro Zamora on MTV's reality show, The Real World. Before Pedro died in November 1994, he dreamed of teaching others about the disease AIDS that consumed him.
Touched by his urgent message, Winnick created the comic book Pedro Me in 2000. On Pedro's behalf, he voiced messages of human understanding and compassion about AIDS to thousands of today's graphically focused culture. Pedro's dream lives on through the frames of a comic book.
As a result of the First Amendment's freedom of expression,
The illustrative debut of comics changed into an innovative market of persuasive propaganda that impacted millions.
With opinions of political ideals and lessons of morality.
Voicing messages of hope for the American dream in a diverse pop culture.